Well, shalom, shalom. I'm Barbara, and I'm always short and sweet. Whose birthday is December 25th? And which god is honored at Christmas? Well, this is the one thing I'm going to tell you about today, about the sun god. The history of December 25th. Well, the first thing you should know is that Christmas was celebrated long before Yeshua or Jesus was ever born. Well, it all started again in Babylon. Nimrod, who eventually came to be worshipped as Baal, the sun god, according to ancient Babylonian tradition. Semiramis, later known as the goddess Ashtoreth, Isis, Ishtar, Easter, Queen of Heaven in other pagan religions, claimed that after the untimely death of her son Tammuz and husband Nimrod, a full-grown evergreen tree sprang up overnight from a dead tree stump. Semiramis claimed that Nimrod would visit that evergreen tree and leave gifts each year on the anniversary of his birth. His birthday just happened to be on December 25th, and that's the time of the winter solstice. Well, here is a list of all the pagan gods born on December 25th. Tammuz, Krishna, Mithra, Horus, Buddha, Hercules. You can go through and read them all. Osiris, all from India, Egypt, the Orient, everywhere. And here is another list of birthdays of pagan gods worshipped on December 25th. Buddha and Horus, you've heard all these names, Tammuz, Mithra, and all the dates are way back, 3000 BC, way back to the time of Babylon, and all the way up through time in all the different countries. There's been the gods that they worshipped, birthdays were on December 25th. So the birthday of the sun god is December 25th. Ever since the time of Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, pagans have celebrated the birthday of their sun god on December 25th. It obviously was never called Christmas, but it was a pagan festival celebrated in the winter, at the time of the winter solstice. And the Romans' pagan festival called Saturnalia was celebrated at the time of the winter solstice. It was from December 17 to 24, and it was a week-long festival with torchlight processions of gift-giving and merrymaking, and it culminated in the winter solstice feast on December 25th, the birthday of the sun god. Well, in 274 BC, the Roman Emperor Orion established a feast of the birthday of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Today, the 25th of December, is the day in the later Roman Empire when people celebrated the winter solstice and the birthday of the sun god, Sol Invictus. Mithra was born on December 25th. This Mithra, or Mithra, sun god, is believed to be a mediator between God and man, between the sky and the earth, and it is said that Mithra, or the sun, took birth in the cave on December 25th. And it's also the belief of the Christian world that Mithra, or the sun god, was born of a virgin. So it appears that the annual celebration held on December 25th, the winter solstice, was the most important celebration of the cult, and it was believed that Mithra was born on this day, hence the birthday of the unconquered sun. December 25th, the birthday of the sun. The traditions of men and Christmas. Well, people say that there's no real scripture that tells us not to celebrate Christmas, so it's not really that big of a deal. That is incorrect. Yeshua, Jesus, speaks very much about the subject. He doesn't specifically name Christmas because Christmas wasn't celebrated during his time. He speaks about traditions and customs of men because it's not only Christmas that we practice falsely, but many other traditions and customs as well. So Yeshua said in Mark 7:13, he said, making the word of Elohim of no effect through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such things you do. And also Deuteronomy 12:29-31 warns us, when Yeshua our Elohim cuts off from before you the nations which you go to dispossess, and you displace them and dwell in their land, take heed to yourself that you are not ensnared to follow them after they are destroyed from before you, and that you do not inquire after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? I also will do likewise. You shall not worship Yahweh your Elohim in that way, for every abomination to Yahweh which he hates they have done to their gods, for they burn even their sons and daughters in the fire to their gods. So from these verses, it should be made clear that we should not be worshiping Yahweh in any way that we desire, even though our intentions might be sincere. He said the way they worship their gods is an abomination to him. We should be very careful of partaking in the traditions of men. So Jeremiah 10:1-5 says, hear the word which Yahweh speaks to you, O house of Israel. Thus says Yahweh, do not learn the way of the Gentiles. And I hope you'll pause the screen and read all the verses here about the Christmas tree. So like if this was a blessing to you, and share with your friends that love Yeshua. And I have put all these links below for you to study out for yourself. In Revelation 14:6-7 says, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear Yahweh, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. So remember, I'm short and sweet, and I'll see you next time, Yah willing. Thank you so much for being here today.